Thank you very much.
Thank you. So if everybody could remain seated.
Policy is most effective when it is tethered to reality. We will see few gains in East Africa if our policy there does not account for the on-the-ground truth that Somaliland has been functionally independent for decades. Count on the Heritage Foundation for always trumpeting that fact. So let's upgrade our policy. The United States of America should strengthen its position in a precarious and important part of the world. It should do the justice of honoring the consistent aspirations of millions of Somalilanders to rule themselves. And America should proudly be the first state to recognize Somaliland as an independent nation. We look forward to that day. In the meantime, it is my honor to introduce His Excellency, the President of Somaliland, Muuse Biixi Abdi. Sir.
I would like to extend my sincere gratitude and appreciation to Dr. Kevin Robert, President of the Heritage Foundation, for inviting me to give the address today. The Heritage Foundation stands out among the America's leading public policy institutions to promoting a truly interdisciplinary approach to understanding the politics of and economics of East Africa. It is therefore a great pleasure and honor for me to exchange views today on Somaliland and the future of our region with such a distinguished participants. Ladies and gentlemen, today, the whole world is a laser focused on the tragedy in Ukraine. The shelling, the bombardment, the destruction, the death, the mass suffering, and the largest refugee crisis in Europe since the World War II. Today, the suffering of the people of Ukraine is unfolding in front of our eyes with the help of the 24/7 news cycle and the social media. For us, as Somalilanders, the tragedy is reminiscent of the genocide committed against our people 33 years ago. A tragedy I myself witnessed firsthand, on which over 550,000 of our people were massacred in the hands of Somalia government at that time. And millions of our people became either refugees or were internally displaced. We feel the pain and the anguish that the people of Ukraine feel today because we went through the same experience. Only in our case, the genocide committed against our people was hidden from the world, as at that time there were no 24/7 days news cycle and the social media. However, the better memory of what we went through is forever be memorialized in the minds and will never be forgotten by our people. Ladies and gentlemen, I come here before yesterday to tell and to talk about my country's progress, challenges, and the role our country plays in the security, stability, and economic development in our region and beyond. Somaliland, geopolitical significance, and shared interest with the like-minded countries. First, the security situation in Somalia has deteriorated dramatically, proving a re-evaluation of the political consideration that embedded more direct engagement between the US and Somaliland. As you will recall, the United States, the modernization of Berbera Port, the opening of a new international airport, and construction of commercial corridors to inland neighbors and connecting the Horn of Africa to global trade routes, serving as an linchpin for renewed economic development in East Africa. Last June, our government and DP World of the Emirates inaugurated a new container terminal at Berbera Airport, marking the completion of the first phase of a significant port expansion project. This was followed in October with DP World and Britain's Development Finance Agency announcing plans to jointly invest a significant amount of money in logistics infrastructure in Africa, sharing with further modernization of Berbera Port. These investments, combined with the ongoing challenges in neighboring countries, make Somaliland the most stable and reliable conduit between much of East Africa and the world's major shipping lines. Taken together, these. Thank you very much for your attention.
Okay. Well, Your Excellency, thank you very much for those comments and for joining us here today. It really is a privilege and an honor to have you. Just a few questions from me. I'll have to choose wisely among this long list that I have, but we don't have time for all of them. But you mentioned China briefly in your remarks, and of course Dr. Roberts mentioned China as well. There have been rumors about Chinese delegations visiting Hargeisa. Can you give us any insight into those conversations and what Beijing is saying to you?
As you know, the Horn of Africa region today, all the superpowers or the developed countries or the G7 countries, they are competing on the Horn of Africa. And every government, China, USA, UK, Soviet Union, every government is trying to get the influence of a nation in that region for their national interests. So China is one of these countries who are always competing, especially with the United States on the Horn of Africa. So yes, their delegation has come to Somaliland, and we discuss our interests and their interests. But most of the time, now we have, to see how they change it, the progress you make, but still the Capitol Hill and the mall are the same as they were.
Well, thank you again, Your Excellency.
It's no time for me to be there, 1 week to go. I have no time to go around to my school in Fort Lee or Higher Dayton or to my house in Duke Street. My good friend, the restaurant, who helped me at that time. I have no time to go around there. But it's a great pleasure to be back here again. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So if everybody could remain seated.